women have about 33-ish different ways to ensure they do not get pregnant. 33. Men have one way to determine whether or not you all get pregnant.
So let me ask you. Quest, baby, you gotta be on a time limit, sweetie. My son. On the flip side, what you're talking about is a certain kind of woman, because not all women are just giving it up in the club on the first night. So if you're talking about those type of women, sweetheart, you're not gonna play us like we all give it up on the club on the first night. Oh my God. Then not these women.
Okay, so not the women that's on the panel.
So what I'm
not
saying,
the women. I gotta hold you.
Wait, you gotta let them speak for themselves.
I gotta hold you to task. Yeah. You can't. First off, you can't speak for every woman on the panel.
The women that I know, who I'm particularly speaking of, are women who are in long term, who are been with a man, whether they're asleep, a situationship or whatever. They've known him for a while and they've gotten pregnant by him.
Now, clearly, the women that you are around, your tight knit circle right there that you are dealing with, may not.
Caliber of woman, yes.
You say what?
There's a caliber of a woman.
Yes. Sure, but it's based off the group of women that you know, and that's very specific to the area that I'm sure you live in. Is that fair or not? Just be honest.
I'm just saying there are different calibers of women. There's a caliber of woman who will not allow you to enter her raw on the first night.
So I will tell you that happens more often than not, and it may happen within your circle. They just not telling you.
Well, they not gonna bring a baby into the world.
Guess who knows that's happening with? The niggas that are out here on the fucking panel and niggas that may not be on the panel, niggas in the chat niggas, I see you. It's niggas in the chat right now that know they done rawed plenty of women on the first night, and in their heads, they're thinking, well, she got 33 different ways to make sure this shit don't happen. I know she don't. There's no possible way she wants a fucking.
Well, how much sense does that make from the man?
And I'll let you have it.
How much sense does that make from the? If you're a smart guy,
ladies on the panel, it happens. I know your girlfriends are not going to admit this to you because it doesn't look good on their character, but men know. Listen, I really wish.
Caliber.
I really wish logic.
I'm not mad. Listen, let me say something real quick. Let me just interject you real quick. Yeah.
You guys, let's not talk over each other because we do need to let other people talk. All right, go ahead, Maya.
However, both parties.
If you ain't invested in the lifestyle condoms right now, now's a perfect opportunity to get invested. Okay, we're gonna start it off like that. I'm gonna say a lot of shit on here that it's gonna be a little triggering, but I want everybody to understand, the viewers and everybody. I don't think anybody should have control over what it is that you decide to do with your body. I want to prefix anything that I say with that specifically. I don't think government should have the decision to be able to determine on what you choose to or choose not to do with your body. But it's proverbial but that niggas don't like. This is an opportunity for everybody to kind of see what the fuck men have been going through for years. Men have not had the opportunity to determine whether or not a woman does or does not decide to bring a child to bear. We have not had the opportunity. If a woman says, yes, I want to have a baby, and this shout out to my nigga Logic, because he brought the point up a couple days ago, and I'm piggybacking off of it, but I want to make sure I salute my dog, because that's my dog. If a woman decides to bring a baby to term and the dude says, I don't want you to, she typically is going to make the determination on whether or not she's going to do it. And she typically says yes, if that's what she wants to do. If the man says, I want to bring the child to bear, and the woman says, no, I don't want to bring the child to bear, that woman terminates. So therefore, the man's decision, his overall opinion on the matter, it didn't make it. We don't give a fuck. Now, every woman that's out here in America that has gone through this gets a chance to see what the fuck men have been going through for decades. Decades. And I'm going to be very clear and be very upfront that yes, some of this is anecdotal. I'll be clear. Yes, I do have a child out of wedlock. I am married. I have a 1-year-old son in my marriage, but I do have a daughter outside of wedlock. Okay. Some of this is anecdotal, but I know, yes, it's anecdotal, but I've spoken to many of men. I'm 39 now. I've spoken to many men over my 39 years. Well, we ain't gonna do that. Over my past 20 years, we'll just say, that have gone through things just like what I'm talking about, and their opinion didn't fucking matter. And now women are getting y'all are getting a taste of what it is that we've had to deal with. Do I agree with it? No. I want to say it again. No, I don't think that the government should be able to determine who brings child to bear or not. But this is what we've been going through. Additionally, hopefully nobody is too upset with what I've said so far. Additionally, I think this is an opportunity for our community to get our shit together. I've said multiple times on multiple shows that I think the best way to move our community forward is through family. If you are not trying to set up families, if you are not trying to commit to a family, then you shouldn't be having kids. Don't do it, because it is a detriment to not just that child, but to our community at large. Hopefully now this will say, hey, niggas, stop shooting up clubs that don't need to be shot up. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. Stop it. I stand by that. Any nigga see me in the street, that's what I'm standing on. Stop shooting up clubs that don't deserve it. If you don't have intentions of marrying this woman, stop shooting up the clubs. And now, since I done told you, since I started all this, I'm saying, hey, invest in lifestyle. Strap it up. Put the rubber on, fellas. Put it on. Because now these ladies don't have the decision to make now. Government is taking it from them. I yield.
Thank you, Quest. Kelly.
Hi, thank you for having me on. I don't know how I'm going to go behind that. Thanks, Quest. But mine is going to be the unpopular opinion. So please forgive me in advance. But I stand by my stance on, I'm all for it. I don't believe in abortion. I never have. I never will. Even it was requested of me to have an abortion when I got pregnant at a very early age. Not early, it was early, like 20s, but my son's father was only 19 and he wasn't ready. So he wanted me to have an abortion and I refused because I don't believe in it. I believe if you are going to have a child as an adult, a consenting adult, man and woman, then you have to step up to the plate and take responsibility, because once the child's in the picture, it's no longer about you anymore and what you want, and you want to live your YOLO life, that's fine, but it's going to involve the child. I've always thought that. The law never mattered to me either way. I believe if you don't want to have children, there's celibacy, there is tube ties, hysterectomies, vasectomies, birth control, condoms. There's so many Plan Bs. There's so many things you can do to make sure the baby doesn't come. But once it's here, that's a life. And I'm all about the children having a chance, because it's not the baby's fault that two adults had sex and now they're here. I don't believe you should kill babies, so I'm all for it. I've never been for abortion, so that's my opinion. I'm probably going to get attacked for it, but that's how I feel about it.
You ain't getting attacked.
Not for me anyway, because I kind of
don't apologize.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Listen, so I hear everybody. So my question is, I want to ask Quest a question, which is off of the topic. Well, it's on the topic, but it's not a part of the regular, the questioning. Like Kelly said, I hear you saying that men usually want you to have the child, but I normally hear the opposite. where the kid, I mean, I know there are a group of men who do want the child, absolutely. But from what I've, from my past, when I've had friends in similar situations, or I hear other people's situation that not necessarily my friend, is usually the guy who is persuading the female to have the abortion. So you're saying that that's not.
You
Depends
said,
on the quality of woman.
I just want to make sure I heard this right. Okay. You're suggesting.
No, I'm not suggesting. I'm telling you from my experience.
Right. So what you're saying from your experience is that the women that you have spoken to are saying that the men typically want to have the baby?
No, they do not.
They do not. Now, ask your friends, of them, how many of them had the babies, knowing that the man did not want to bring that child to fruition.
None of them.
None of them had them.
No.
I would consider those ladies to be
anomalies.
Right, but just like Kelly said, but my thing is, just like Kelly said, there are people who don't believe in abortions. So
wait, hold on. So we got to stop the cap right now.
No. Let me just tell you, sir. In order for you to be on this show and you're a friend of mine, they already know we do not cap. So you may not believe what I'm saying, but everything I say is the truth because this is a no cap show.
Got you. What I'm suggesting is not what your friends are saying. I'm talking about as a collective of Black people. We in general need to stop the cap. We need to stop the cap because I know plenty of men, more than not, that have said, I don't want you to have this child. First off, we weren't even fucking dating.
But
what? Wait, hold on. Let me now you got
go ahead. I apologize.
Let me cook. Now I know plenty of men, more so than not, that have said on multiple occasions, I do not want you to have this child. First off, we were not even dating. I met you at the club. I piped you down. I hit you with that rod. And now you're pregnant. And now you want to bring this child to fruition, knowing what I'm telling you right now, we're not going to create this wonderful family out of thin air. We didn't have that to begin with. Why are we going to just create it? And I don't even know your middle name. Cut it out.
So why are you not using protection if you met her at the club and you taking her home?
Yeah, you got a nasty ding-a-ling.
Because a woman should know if you just having a one-night stand, you should already know that.
No, we're talking about two responsible adults.
Let me address it.
Responsible enough to have protected sex.
You are correct.
If you don't want a kid, wrap it up. If she doesn't want a kid, she should also be on birth control and encouraging you to wear a condom.
That's if they both
not encouraging, requiring him
let me
to
address
wear a condom.
Let me address it because we want to keep this as organized as possible because this conversation is the conversation that's gonna have niggas losing their mind on here.
Well, we don't really cater to those ends. We the Black men, we do.
I'm just saying that this is one of them conversations that a lot of people on the panel could potentially get triggered, and then it's gonna get out of hand. So what I want to address what you said. You are right. We should be wrapping it up, especially if we are not out here trying to be having kids with random thoughts that we done met in the doggone club. But I'm speaking from reality, not idealistically, right? Idealistically, yes, niggas that don't want to have kids with these particular women in the club should be strapping it up. We know that doesn't happen. We know when niggas go off the 1942, niggas be off the hen dog, you know what I'm saying? We be off all that shit. When we get back to the crib and we lit like that, we know that doesn't happen.
So,
right?
We just want to wrap it up a little bit. Just like, dear.
Yeah,
not in second right.
I want to cut in on
Shantae. Let him finish.
Okay, go ahead, Quest. Just
So we know that doesn't typically happen. Now, idealistically, I agree with you. We should be strapping it up. But to the point of women have, I think it's, and correct me if I'm wrong, I know there's somebody on the panel that knows, women have about 33-ish different ways to ensure they do not get pregnant. 33. Men have one way to determine whether or not you all get pregnant.
So let me
Quest,
baby, you gotta be on a time limit, sweetie.
Yeah, you gotta let.
I mean, but what I'm saying, listen.
I get what you're saying. Just go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk.
All right. Long story short, whose responsibility should this lie on if you have 33 different ways to ensure yourself not to be pregnant, and niggas only have one, bro? One.
Let me just say this.
Well, they have two. They have the pull-out method, right?
Yeah. So my thing is this, and I'm gonna preach this the way
abstinence.
Listen, I'm gonna preach this the way I've preached every show we've had this conversation. If you are the one who does not want a child, why are you trusting a person you just met in the club with your sperm? Like, I tell my son this. That's the dumbest thing. You don't even trust a woman with the wallet you just met, but you trust her with your sperm. You understand? And I have a son, so that's why I preach to my son. On the flip side, what you're talking about is a certain kind of woman, because not all women are just giving it up in the club on the first night. So if you're talking about those type of women, sweetheart, you're not gonna play us like we all give it up on the club on the first night. Oh my God. Then not these women.
Okay, so not the women that's on the panel.
So what I'm saying,
not the women. I gotta hold you.
Wait, you gotta let them speak for themselves.
I gotta hold you to task. Yeah. You can't. First off, you can't speak for every woman on the panel, and I gotta hold you to task.
Everybody except for two people on this panel.
Let me address Pam on what you said.
Hold on. Wait.
So let me just say this. The women that I know, who I'm particularly speaking of, are women who are in long-term, who are been with a man, whether they're asleep, a situationship or whatever. They've known him for a while and they've gotten pregnant by him. They're not married to him. They got pregnant by him. So maybe they continue to be together after the baby was born, whether he wanted it or not. They continue to be together, and then they parted ways because it just did not work out, which left them to be single parents. Okay, these are not people who slept with somebody in the club and got pregnant. Like, how often does that happen? You sleep one night and you get pregnant. That's not the vast majority.
More often than what you say.
And they may not always tell you.
Let me speak to that point. I know a lot of men, and first off, let me be very clear about. Yes, mine is anecdotal, but mine is anecdotal on a sense of I know men from all over the world because I served in the military for 20 years. Okay.
Thank you for your
in the military. We meet niggas from all over, all kinds of walks of life. White boys, black men, all kinds of shit. From Seattle to Miami, okay? And from New York to Texas. All right. This happens often. Now, clearly, the women that you are around, your tight-knit circle right there that you are dealing with, may not.
Caliber of woman, yes.
You say what?
There's a caliber of a woman.
Yes. Sure. But it's based off the group of women that you know. And that's very specific to the area that I'm sure you live in. Is that fair or not? Just be honest.
I'm just saying there are different calibers of women. There's a caliber of woman who will not allow you to enter her raw on the first night.
So I will tell you that happens more often than not, and it may happen within your circle. They just not telling you.
Well, they're not gonna bring a baby into the world.
Guess who knows that's happening with? The niggas that are out here on the fucking panel, and niggas that may not be on the panel, niggas in the chat niggas, I see you. It's niggas in the chat right now that know they done rawed plenty of women on the first night, and in their heads they're thinking, well, she got 33 different ways to make sure this shit don't happen. I know she don't. There's no possible way she wants a fucking.
Well, how much sense does that make from the man?
And I'll let you have it.
How much sense does that make from the? If you're a smart guy, I'm assuming that you're a smart man.
I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm just talking about. I'm speaking to the logic of the men that are rotten.
My father used to say that a stiff dick has no conscience. So if he's smart or not, once he's in that zone, he doesn't care. My question is to the women, like, what can a man say to you to let him?
I don't know.
Like, to let you put his penis inside you with no condom and bust inside you, like brawl, like nothing. Like, what does a man say?
Hey, listen, Kelly, we spitting that shit to him. We spitting that shit to him. Look, and that's what we do.
I don't think it's
so I can't answer that question.
I don't think it's a matter. I don't think it's a matter of what men are saying to allow women to do that. I think it's a matter of what no one's saying. Nobody's having a conversation like, okay, what if I get you pregnant? Or, you know what I'm saying? We about to smash. What do you get pregnant? What is your mind on that? Like, you want to have kids? You want to have kids with me? You know what I'm saying? You against abortion? I think it's a conversation that's not taking place until after.
But if you meet somebody in a club, you're not gonna have that conversation. How does a one night stand
but
work? You just meet someone, you're like, ooh, I love you, baby. Let's go do it. And then you just have sex with this random person you don't know.
Kelly, how old are you?
But my thing is, I'm about to say, like, how old are we talking about? What age frame are we talking about? Are we talking about grown people, or
I don't think they.
like little
I don't think.
kids?
I don't think they say I love you.
Kelly, how old are you?
I'm 35.
Okay, so you younger than me. All right, listen, ladies on the panel, it happens. I know your girlfriends are not going to admit this to you because it doesn't look good on their character, but men know. Listen, I really wish.
Caliber.
I really wish logic.
I'm not mad. Listen, let me say something real quick. Let me just interject you real quick. Yeah.
You guys, let's not talk over each other because we do need to let other people talk. All right, go ahead, Maya.
However, both parties still need to be responsible.
Y'all, let's not talk over each other.
So no one is disagreeing with you that it's not happening, that people are meeting people in the clubs and having one night stands, and unfortunately babies are being conceived from that. But it should still be both parties involved responsibility to make sure that they prevent it from happening. If you know you going to the club and you finna get fucked up off Henny, whatever your choice of liquor is, also make sure you got a box of 3 of some lifestyle condoms with you if you know you're trying to smash something tonight.
The responsibility should be to the person who has the most control.
Well,
at this point, women don't have control.
Whoever has the last word should be the most responsible.